Dear learners, welcome to the session of Physical Pharmaceutics. In this session, we will discuss about Nernst distribution law. Suppose you are having two solvents, solvent A and solvent B. These two solvents are non-miscible with one another. As they are non-miscible with one another, they will form a layer between them. So to the system which is having two immiscible liquid, if I am pouring some amount of solute, then that solute will distribute itself between these two immiscible solvent. The particular amount of solute will be distributed in solvent A and XYZ amount will get distributed into solvent B. So this relationship of distribution of a solute in a mixture of two non-miscible solvent, remember this solute is distributed between the two solvents, means it can have the capability of dissolution in both of them. This relationship is given by the scientist Nernst in 1891. Nernst in his law state that at constant temperature, the ratio of the concentration of solute distributed between two non-miscible solvent is a constant quantity. Means if I am having X amount of solute and I am distributing that X amount into this non-miscible solvent, then it will distribute in such a way that the concentration of that solute in solvent 1 and the concentration of the same solute in solvent 2 will be in such a proportion that their ratio is a constant quantity. And so as to understand this one, let's have when the distribution of the solute X, as we are having X amount of solute, then the distribution of the solute X when it reaches to the dynamic equilibrium, the rate at which this solute passes from solvent A to solvent B is proportional to its concentration. Whatever amount of solute we are having, so that amount of solute is having the rate which is proportional to its concentration. For example, if the solvent A has a solute C1, so the rate by which that solute passes from solvent A is proportional to concentration of that solute in that particular solvent, which is given as R1 is equal to K1C1, where K1 is constant. The same thing is applicable to second solvent, that the rate at which that X molecule passes from that second solvent is again proportional to concentration, and that will be given by equation R2 is equal to K2C2, where K2 is constant again. But remember, at equilibrium, the rate of migration of that solute from one solvent to the other solvent is equal. Means we have rate of distribution in solvent 1, that is A, and the rate of distribution in solvent B, that is 2, is in equilibrium. That's why we have R1 is equal to R2. So both the values of R1 and R2 from previous equations will give you the mathematical expression as K1C1 is equal to K2C2, and by the rearrangement we will have the equation for Nernst distribution law, and the equation where K1 and K2 are constant at the definite temperature and the distribution coefficient Kd is again constant at that fixed temperature. When we are discussing about Nernst distribution law, though we are gaining that idea that particular solute distributes in a particular ratio, the same ratio, it has some limitation. The first limitation that Nernst distribution law has, the solute is to be distributed should not rest with any of the solvent, means that solute should not have affinity toward any one of them, so it will get dissolved. So as to have the distribution, the important thing is it should have affinity toward both the solvent, and it is possible in that case only. The second limitation is that the solute should neither dissociate or nor associate in the solvent. Being a phenomenon of distribution, the solute that is being distributed shall not be reactive toward the solvents being used, because if that solute is reactive with any one of the solvent, then it will give you a different kind of reaction which will ultimately have impact on the concentration of your solute either in any of them. The next limitation that the Nernst distribution law has is it is applicable if low concentration of solute is present in the two immiscible solvent, and the major limitation that it has is the temperature should be kept stable during the experiment. Besides this limitation, there are majority of applications that gives the utility of Nernst distribution law. The first application is this phenomenon of Nernst distribution is used for separation of organic solutions from aqueous solution. The same can be used for the extraction of substance. You can also predict the solubility of drug in water as well as in other solvent, or you can have the solubility in mixture of solvent. The same phenomenon, that is Nernst distribution law, can be used in the Parks process. The Parks process is associated with the desilverization of lead. As you are dealing with the concentration which is actually in the that particular solvent A or B, thus this is very useful for the determination of degree of hydrolysis, for the determination of association and dissociation, and it will give you a confirmatory test for bromide and iodide. So these are the various applications that will serve as an important tool in the condition of physical pharmaceutics. Remember, though we are discussing about distribution, it should not be mixed with the concept called as partitioning. Both the laws associated with concentration in respective solvents, that is your distribution and partitioning, but there is a slight difference between both of them. In case of distribution, we were focusing on distribution of the solute within the solvents, means that solute has affinity toward both the solvent, but that is not true in case of partitioning. So what partitioning actually stands for, let's see. On your display you are having again two solvents, solvent A and solvent B. Again these two solvents are immiscible, or they might be miscible one, but the important thing is difference in their polarity. Suppose you are having one aqueous solvent and second one as organic solvent. Now to this mixture I am pouring a solute which is highly polar. So when this highly polar solute comes in contact with the mixture of two solvents, then this solute will have affinity toward the solvent having a like polarity. And as the thumb rule of like dissolves like, this highly polar material will have affinity toward polar solvent. And the same is with the second one. Now to the same mixture, if I am pouring a solute which is less polar comparative to the first one, so obviously as like the first one, it will have affinity toward the second one which is less polar solvent comparative to the first polar solvent. And this partitioning of your solute based on its affinity toward any one of the solvent is given by the partition coefficient as the concentration of your solute in organic layer to the concentration of solute in aqueous layer. So this will be the basis on which, this is the ground on which you can have differentiation of partitioning from distribution. I will repeat, in case of distribution you are having solute which will get distributed between two solvents and it has affinity toward both of them. But when it comes about partitioning, that is not true. In case of partitioning, the solute will distribute in a solvent which is having larger affinity based on its polarity. Thank you.